So I am Vianne Sarber. I am a junior here at OSU, and I'm majoring in graphic design with a minor in business and photography. I'm from a small fishing town called Homer, Alaska. Similar to Oregon in kind of climate by the coast, but I love it there. So even though I'm majoring in graphic design, sculpture will always be the #1 in my heart, always. I think in 3D, and my brain's just wired that way. I've been an artist since I was born. I mean, my mom had me doing little crafts as soon as I could hold something with my little baby fists. But I really started sculpting in 2015. It's when I kind of started doing the clay route, and I've been chipping away at it ever since. And then when I came to OSU, that's when I really got into the porcelain, because they have an amazing studio here for students to use. Porcelain is so unique. It's really fine grit, so it doesn't feel gritty. It feels almost buttery and smooth when you use it. And it retains details really well, and I can really get in there. I usually avoid glazing my pieces entirely because glazes just cover up all the detail I put in. Adding stuff after the fact is also really fun too. When things come out of the oven, they're only partially done for me. I usually take them home and I add colored paints or crystals or chains or anything that I think would accentuate the sculpture. I am inspired by so many different things. I love history. There's a lot of historical influence in a lot of things I'm doing. I love mythology. I think religious imagery is super, super cool of all types of cultures. And this is Ganesha right here. And there's so much passion behind spiritual art. You can really tell when you see it that there's a story behind it, and that's what I love. I love art with stories. I came across an image of a hero performer, and I thought that they just had a great look. So this piece is my own interpretation of that kind of performing style. She has a lot of personality, which I love. So I made each piece individually and assembled them after the fact. She is totally posable. It was a lot of, I want to say trial and error, but there wasn't really any trial. It was just, let's make it and see if it works. But I'm satisfied with how it turned out for my first try, and I think she's cute. I've always been a pretty academic mind, surprisingly. I've had a very type A perspective on life and on my studies, but art has always been there. You can't separate the two. I think that there's ways to approach the world creatively, but with also an academic, very rigorous mindset. Usually I come down here and I work in 6-hour to 8-hour chunks. I love it. It's my therapy. Yeah, I work pretty quickly, which is nice for me because I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do. And then once I decide what I want to do, like a matador and a bull, I have to think about the posing and the narrative I want to convey. What's the story behind the piece I want to tell? And from this perspective, I want the matador to be kind of hunched over, stabbing the bull with the sword that they usually have. But then from this perspective, I want it to be visible, the matador's chest, that the bull has already gored him. So depending on the perspective of the piece, your interpretation of it changes. Doing it is not the hard part, it's just knowing what to do is the hard part. For pieces like this that are more narrative-based, I don't like to give my opinion. I like to let other people give their opinion. I personally don't see this piece in a negative connotation, but I'll let other people decide what they think about it when they see it. Well, I think the very act of making something out of clay is storytelling in and of itself. Going from a block of clay, a lifeless brick, into something that has personality and a story. And that's really what I want to do in all my pieces. I want to have a narrative. I want people to look at it and think oh, okay, what's going on here? What's the story behind it? Make sure to grab a PRISM journal. It'll be coming out on May 4th during Spring Fest if you want to see more of my pieces. Cool. Okay. There's no shame in a ceramics lab.